Dave, you mentioned, and you come across, you mentioned when you were younger, uber confidence, that's the word you used. You're a confident guy. Is there anything that makes you nervous? You mentioned about walking over that bridge, it was like almost like the first day at school again, going to see XLN when you did the buyout there. As a leader and as you've grown, is there anything that makes you nervous still about the job or meeting new people?
Yeah, so, and Joe, this is going to sound really, because most people go, really? Naturally, I'm a shy person. So
really?
That's, yeah.
That way. I'm going to edit this if you carry on. Stop it.
And naturally, I am a shy person. So I always get kind of nervous. But actually, it's about, I remember I went to have a conversation, like a careers day at school. And it was interesting. So I got asked, would I mind going to do a presentation, 200 17-year-olds, or 15 to 17-year-olds, whatever they were. And would I mind going to do it? So I said to my missus, I said, this school's asked me to go and do a presentation. She said, I went to that school. I went, okay, well, I'm obviously going to have to go and do the presentation then, aren't I? So I went and done the presentation. And one of the questions they asked, so as I've done presentations, just going through career and everything else, and one of the questions they asked was about stress. What's my view on stress? Does stress get any easier as you get older? And I think my answer along the lines of actually stress kind of gets easier the more you know, because you generally get stressed when you don't know the answer to something, or you put in a position where you don't know, you're kind of uncomfortable. And I guess that's the same as being, getting over that nervousness is about being comfortable in what I understand. There'll be a lot of things where I don't understand. And actually, I'm a firm believer that I can never understand. I think a lot of leaders within any organisation, they think they need to know everything, and I definitely don't.
Are you comfortable with that?
No, absolutely. And actually, one of the things I'm thinking about is actually how do I get a young mentor for me? Because actually, there's a load of things that I don't know. The way they, I'd still even think about Facebook. I'm not. But it's, and kids are like, that's so old fashioned. I just so on that basis, there's a lot that I don't know about, and I'm never going to know. And if you take the largest library in the world, has probably got 10 million books, and there's probably a lot more books out there than that, and I haven't read all of them. So on that basis, I'm absolutely comfortable not knowing everything. What I am comfortable about is if I don't know something and I really want to know something, then I will go and learn it. That's
talking of not knowing something and talking about learning, what inspired you to start an MBA? Why did you do that?
You see, there was I guess a few things, and I did that throughout the pandemic. I did that throughout lockdown.
What made you do that?
Well, I kind of left school with not with a lot of ambition, but not loads of paper that said he was brilliant. I had a lot of ambition to be special or to do something different. And then 40 years after I left school, I thought, do you know what? Wouldn't it be great to go to university? And I remember, because obviously the university was still in lockdown as well. So I remember being on the Teams call with the MBA director and all the other, I was going to say pupils or students, students, and they said to me, everyone's going through the reason why they're on the MBA. So there's some people on there, I want to get the next best job, I want to get this, I want to get that, and it got to me, and I said, well, actually, I want to be on here to be the best version of me for all the staff that work with me. I said, because I think I owe it to them. I owe it to them to be the best version of me. It's the only reason why. I said, no disrespect, I've got the best job. I don't need another job. I've got a great job. I've got a great team. I've got all them things that you're all saying you want to be on here for. And actually, what I now need to do is make sure that I'm the best version of me. So that was the real main motivator, which was actually, it's quite a hard thing to keep motivated throughout that whole period, because there are many times when you go, I could give this up.
Yeah, I've got the job. What do I need to do this for?
It was a little bit, all of a sudden it's like, you've got to learn Blackboard. It's like unbelievable, and it's like it continued and continued. But I've got to say, I went through the whole course. I loved it. I immersed myself in it. So I didn't skim it. I immersed myself. I remember going to there's a conference up in Edinburgh. They said, what time are you getting your flight? I went, no, I'm going to drive, because that way I can get 7 hours worth of audio book going up there and 7 hours back. So I kind of immersed myself in as much learning as I possibly could do throughout that whole period. And it was a great experience. It was one of them where I didn't have my student card at the time, and I said, I need to go to Manchester. I need to go to the university. They said, what for? I said, well, I've got to get my card. They said, what do you mean card? I said, well, every time I go in to get a discount, they say, what, an OAP's discount? I said,
Yeah, brilliant.
my student discount. I want my student discount. So I don't know. I've never used it, but it was just, I wanted it. Just as right, that was my badge. I got the student discount card.
Let's bring it up to date, Dave. One of the key factors affecting the IT channel at the moment is around shortages. Problem with manufacturing, supply, frustrated customers. Are you seeing any of that with your customers around telecoms or data? Are you finding that in the moment in the market?
No, I think there's a couple of parts. So a lot of the hardware that we sell, I guess, or we supply to the customers, is mobile hardware related. And there has been some challenges. I'm not going to sit and go, actually, there's been, there are different times a year. There's been different challenges, but in the mobile industry, there's generally been that anyway. You look at September, October, you're always going to have a shortage of a particular brand of handsets because it kind of goes mad and there's not enough manufactured. So you kind of get used to that. We don't supply really, laptops and things like that. And a lot of what we do supply is airtime. So whether it's connectivity airtime, whether it's mobile airtime. So I guess I'm not going to say we've been shielded from that, but actually we are less so impacted by hardware issues. There are some, but just it's not been a real big pain point for us.
And my last question, Dave, where do you see I'm not saying you're Mystic Meg or anything, but where do you see the biggest opportunity for 2023? Where do you see Daisy going, and where do you see the IT channel going? What's the opportunity for them?
I think there's a couple of opportunities. So especially in the telecoms industry, every customer out there, whether they like it or not, has to move. So they've got to move from the technology they're onto new technology. So they've got to move off ADSL. They've got to move off copper. They've got to move on to where it's fibre. They've got to move on to a hosted cloud system. So things have got to change. So on that basis, we look at massive opportunity in how do we help customers move. That for me is a big opportunity. I think the other big opportunities that are out there, and I guess someone once said to me, if you see the bus, you generally missed it. You look at cyber security. A lot of customers are now being a lot more concerned about the cyber security issues out in the marketplace. So I guess that's definitely something within the portfolio to drive through. But it is about, for us, lifting and shifting everything off premises onto cloud solutions.
Dave, you've been a great guest. Thanks so much for your time.
Perfect. Thanks, mate.
That's great.